Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V. It's a 1.6 SR diesel, 2014, as you can see. Apologise for that, something just glitched. Car's covered just 64,000 miles. Finished this lovely passion red, which looks stunning on the car in the flesh. Videos never do it justice. This car's also fitted with the major option of the big screen sat nav and subsequently the large rear camera which comes with that. It's a really nice option. Car's in lovely condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation there. Bonnet very, very clean indeed. Come to the near side, passenger side, very clean down the panels. No indentations there, you can see. There's the front alloy, really good. It's just starting to spit with rain, so it might be sort of rushing around this one a little bit. It is a very, very nice car. The offside of the car, driver's side. Again, very smooth down the panels. There's a recap very, very nicely, I have to say. The odd age-related blemish you're bound to find on any car this age. In all honesty, that's really nice. Coming to the back of the car, absolutely cavernous boot. Being a family car, these can be very heavily used, yet this one's been treated very gently actually. Just coming into the back of the car, got this lovely half leather Alcantara interior, which again, kids sit back here quite often, lots of wear and tear, but very little in this one. Coming on the driver's side, or passenger side rather, front, very clean, full set of original mats, and passenger seat there, been given very little use. Finally coming on the driver's side, door card nice and clean, and with footwell areas, driver's seat for a car of its age in fantastic condition really. Inside the car now, engine's running, so the dash is illuminated and all in really nice order. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, got that lovely clear parking camera which complements the front and rear parking sensors. Carrying on down, it's just been kept very, very nicely. Finally come to the dash binnacle, 64,645 miles, engine's running, no warning lights at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 SR diesel. Car's registered LL14VFT. And mileage at the start of the road test is 64,638 miles. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially this bit, the road test section, is basically just to make sure that if anyone's looking online at any of the cars we're advertising, they get to see that very car actually in operation. The reason we've always felt it important is simply because, like lots of people, unfortunately, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in a photograph or description, but only to get there and find out it's actually got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. Even on a filthy day, it's still a lovely place to be. It's basically the roads we go on road tests with our customers, and the hope is, of course, it will be representative of what you'd have felt yourself should you go and drive in the car. So, coming to the car, twist the key, engine starts instantly, settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car actually. And temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. It's a superb diesel engine. I mean, Honda make fantastic engines anyway, so it's got all its kind of trademark qualities of being, you know, very, very tough and reliable over, you know, huge mileages, just with good regular maintenance really. They're also cam chain driven. There's no cam belts to have to worry about on the car, so no huge service looming or, you know, having the top and bottom of an engine joined by a bit of rubber band. But that's only half the story really. It's just the way the engine drives. It's very smooth and quiet on the move, only sort of noticeably a diesel at, you know, low revs, which even Honda can't engineer out. But on the move, unlike a lot of its competitors, where you feel like you've got lots of power in it, you've got, it's got plenty itself. but this has got a broad spread of power, usable power, which in the real world of driving is much, much nicer, because you don't have to be stirring the gearbox the whole time to keep it in that narrow power band. This, you know, it pulls pretty much straight away with real vigour, but you put your foot down, it goes, and it keeps going. It doesn't tail away. Engine then feeds into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bike pointing exactly where it's meant to be, and it's nice and smooth in operation. Gearbox, just a typically Honda, brilliant gearbox. And first of all, things like the position of the gear lever. It's here, that's the angle it goes into the dashboard. It's not down here sticking up, so you're doing this. So it's a natural movement of your arm to change gear. What is different from most other manufacturers is just how pleasant it is to use. It's very short in throw by comparison to most. The engagement feels solid, mechanical, slick, all at the same time. It's beautifully done, but Honda always do this wonderfully well, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. Then we come on to the steering and chassis of the car. I always go on about it in these videos, and I make no apology for it. The reason being is I think there's as much design genius in this chassis as Honda put into their sporty cars, which might sound a slightly odd thing to say, because it's not sporty in any way. And I know that annoys some people on YouTube with motoring journalists, particularly who drive these things, when they really just don't want to be driving sort of 500 horsepower monsters. So they get in, they go, oh, they're a bit dull to drive. Well, they're not meant to be exciting, but what they are, which is unarguable, is very nice to drive. But the genius, in my opinion, has always been, the fact is that most people buy these cars because they just want a comfortable way to get from A to B, and it does that brilliantly. It is a very comfortable car to drive, so you can tick that box. But what's harder to achieve with a taller car like this and a supple suspension is when you go through corners. Quite often, a lot of its competitors, if they go for something as comfortable as this, will be lollopy and vague through the corners. Or if you want something that's more taut through the corners, can hold its body control very well, you go for much stiffer springing, which can be quite jarring on normal roads. But this car manages to achieve both. And I know we've owned too many to count over the years personally. We go up to North Wales regularly to see family, and some very challenging roads, and the CR-V copes with it absolutely brilliantly, and yet is comfortable through the corners. The body control is very, very accomplished. Steering beautifully weighted, precise, accurate, and actually reasonably quick for this type of car as well, which also tracks dead straight with no vibrations at this speed, or any speed actually up to the legal limit. And the suspension going over this worst bits of rutted roads you can along our little test drive route exhibits no rattles, clonks, anything from underneath the vehicle. Absolutely as tight as a drum. Brakes on the car, which one was behind me, are fantastic. They pull up well. There's no pulsing or vibrations going back through the brake pedal, and it's all nice and powerful. And then finally coming inside the car. First thing you notice when you get in, you've got a lovely driving position, really good supportive seats, very natural feeling when you get into the car. Loads, visibility is superb in the car. Like, everyone mentions it when they get into them. They're just a car you can get into without feeling intimidated in any way. You're helped with by these huge wing mirrors either side, so for lane changing, reversing, that kind of thing. They really are your friend. Very low dash line in front as well, so you've got a really good view of the road ahead, and actually can you see the bonnet, which is a miracle on modern cars. And then your dashboard layout, which is very highly equipped, but actually a couple of days in the car and you've mastered it. It's really, really simple, and all working beautifully as always from Honda. Sat-nav system, one of the easiest you're ever going to use, is a doddle to operate, and there it is, nice and easy. Down below that we've got a dual zone climate control system, and that means you can have different temperatures on either side if you really need to. Also the air conditioning, we tried it in a nice warm workshop yesterday, pumps out lovely cold air, so that's all good. As I always say, whenever you twist anything or press any buttons, you're greeted with a lovely high quality feel to all of the controls. Honda always do that really, really nicely. You never feel anything feel cheap and flimsy in hand. Heated seats, I've got one on at the moment because it's a chilly old morning, working again absolutely perfectly. And then directly in front of me, dash binnacle, simple legible dials, white on black, just easy on the eye, easy to take the information in and not overdone. And again, what Honda do masterfully. And finally, you've got this lovely leather bound steering wheel. It's in lovely condition in here. It's not been cleaned yet, but hardly needs a clean. It's very, very nice indeed. And again, as with all Hondas, there's no squeaks, no rattles. It's just beautifully bolted together. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it's brief as it may be, just to show you the car operating. Feedback on any issues, of which there's nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully.